And good evening. It is Sunday, September 5th, 2021. And we just finished the Week 9 HOH nominations episode here in Big Brother 23. Here we're covering it here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, all simulcasting. I'm Dave Mader, joined with my brother Jeff Mader and co-host Jaemeel Robinson. Or you may be listening to us on the audio version afterwards here on the Spotify, wherever you pick up your audio podcast. Welcome. We're going to be breaking down this episode tonight as we see the conclusion to Thursday's cliffhanger with who would win the swinging around. It was Alyssa versus the cookout, except Alyssa was knocked out before they went off the air Thursday. So it was about which member of the cookout would become the HOH. Even funnier, this is kind of alluded to on the show, that Azah was supposed to be thrown this competition by her alliance should they, ensure that that Alyssa was out and Claire was out, which of course Claire was going to be out because she was the secret HOH last week. And therefore they couldn't even do that. And so Tiffany is somehow the HOH 2 weeks in a row, with only Claire sort of being this other HOH in between.
Tiff is amazing.
Amazing.
I think a Hall of Fame level kind of player here. Jaemeel, what's your thought? How are you?
I'm okay. How you doing?
I'm good. Are you you had a good evening tonight?
Great evening. Not good show, but great evening.
Okay. Well, hey, you got to ride high on that. And the take on the show we saw here, Tiffany grabs power. Much to the chagrin of her alliance, most members of her alliance instead.
You give me a chance and I will take it. I take it.
She's not gonna let Kylan have this. It was supposed to be Azah. I think she probably intended to throw it to Azah, but since she didn't trust Kylan not to throw it, she ends up in this like duo here at the end. So we get the cookout is starting to target each other, become very more suspicious than ever of each other. Jeff, how are you?
I'm good.
High energy. I love it, Jeff. Pump it in my veins.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, he's over it. You see it?
I'm over it. I'm just over it. And you know what? Everyone's just being fake. You got to be fake on this podcast. Got to be fake on Big Brother. I can't have it, Dave.
Yeah, I'm just really nauseous.
Yeah, it's disgusting, really. Azah can't handle it, and that makes her sad.
So that's why I'm sad.
I changed my name to the theme of this episode, which is character assassination, because that's what I was seeing tonight on the broadcast.
Whose character? Whose character was
Tiffany's? Tiffany's.
Who? By who? The likes of Kylan?
By the producers. The producers.
The producers turned on Tiffany. Okay, yeah, here, because tonight I was shocked a little bit that she was like, I am not all for the cookout at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I'm here for Tiffany, and Tiffany above all. Are they throwing her under the bus, you're saying, Jaemeel?
Throwing her under the bus? No. She was in front of the bus. They grabbed the hold of the wheel. They ran over her, looked back in the rear view, saw her getting up, and they backed up again to hit her again. So...
yeah, because I thought, tonight she was, even though she goes through here and she puts up Alyssa and Xavier, yes, because the alliance wanted Claire to go before Alyssa, except for Tiffany. But since Tiffany chose to win this, therefore she feels like, hey, I don't care that you want Claire gone first. I get to make the shot here, so screw you. And not really a long-term strategy, is it, Jeff? Like, is this smart for Tiffany to play it this way?
Okay, I have a few thoughts about Tiffany's gameplay here. The floor is mine. Okay. Two things. I actually am very impressed with the way she's playing because she's going to blow this alliance up, which is what I've wanted. So right now, Tiffany's my favorite player in the house. Two things to go off that. One, okay. Right now, she's put up Alyssa and Xavier. Okay. So what happens if either Alyssa or Xavier win veto? Say Alyssa wins, pulls herself off. Does she put up Claire or does she put up Kylan? Second, if Xavier wins veto, does he give it to Alyssa to force Tiffany to put Claire up, but she puts up Kylan anyway? That's my main takeaways. And
those are your questions. Okay, on your second question, I think that Xavier kind of alludes to that in sort of his closing diary room session tonight, where he's like, I've been playing nice, but he's like, what if I won the veto and then I took Alyssa down and I was like, and then forced Tiffany's hand to put Claire up? Would she do it? Right? And meaning Xavier would be willing to sit up next to the block and kind of call Tiffany's bluff. I don't know. Is he really willing to do that? I don't think so.
You ever hear about the game called No Fear Racing? And it was for the Super Nintendo, and the main star of that is exactly like Xavier, Kyle Petty, very very petty. This man is such a baby. I swear, if he wanted to win challenges, he should win them. Kylan's been winning challenges. Why hasn't he? Right? It makes no sense. They have been in a situation where it's not like they have to hide his ability, right? This has been going on for like about at least 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And he's all of a sudden saying, I'm tired of, giving up my position for the cookout. Dude, you didn't have to. You didn't have to at all. That's a you problem, right? Right? That has.
But they all had that same complaint tonight in all their confessionals. They were all like, I've sacrificed for the cookout. Every member tonight was saying they'd
no. Asa hasn't sacrificed for the cookout because she can't give up anything to sacrifice.
Okay, there is something she has sacrificed.
Her dress.
Her dress.
Her yellow dress.
And she sacrificed her voice. She could have blown this alliance up, and she did not. Now, would that have mattered? It would have been.
She would have been gone. That would have been the end result.
Yeah, they were denied it, and she would have been gone.
But that is worth something in an alliance. Your word and your basically your silence is worth something. I just
only as much as your credibility with the player who you think it could influence, right?
Yeah.
So if they don't trust you, if they have no reason, if they don't have any kind of history with you, and you're suddenly say, I'm in this alliance with so and so, yeah, it might like cast doubt in their mind, but they're also going to think that you might be lying about this too, equally as much. So it's like,
I think ultimately the issue that we're facing here is that Tiffany's being straight with everyone in terms of what she wants to do, and everyone can't handle it. And that's ultimately the reason. Because if this is Kylan was like, oh, well, I had to win it because it would have been best for the cookout. That's BS. He should have fell the moment that Asa was still there. They saw Asa how she is. And if Tiffany fell before that, surely Kylan would be HOH right now.
I have a question. If Kylan had done that, do you really believe Tiffany would have thrown it?
I think so for Asa, yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, really? Okay.
No. And here's why. Because she knows that she needs to get Alyssa out this week. Because if she doesn't, if Clara goes home and she didn't have the power, because that's what would have happened, I think she's scared that if Alyssa wins HOH, they're coming for the girls. Like Xavier's going to get in her ear and Kylan, and that they're going to sway Alyssa to get out Hannah or Asa, or they're going to sway her. So she's afraid of Alyssa because Alyssa is good at certain competitions. And apparently not this one, but
most competitions, Alyssa, she doesn't really do anything.
I just really wanted it. That's all.
That's all. She always really wants it.
She's so defeated.
I'm just upset.
She got no fight in her. Big D was talking about his dad tonight and how he's defeated, but at least he has more fight, and he really has a reason to be defeated. The competitions are completely geared toward athletic or lightweight people, especially the balance beams one, and even this one tonight. I understand where he's coming from. Alyssa, you have nothing to cry about. Nothing. Just win. So you were dizzy? Big, boo-hoo.
Yeah.
She should have vomited on herself.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you wanted that bad, vomit on yourself.
And I blew it.
And people might go, Jaemeel, how could you say that? If vomit occurs, you're going to be tuck tail and run. You both of you know, I ain't scared of no vomit.
No.
whether it's from me or from someone else. So if I want to win, I don't care. I'll piss myself. I'll vomit on myself. I'll do what I need to do to win. That's how desperate you are.
The competition went 33 minutes. I could have went 2 hours at that. I honestly believe I could have went 2 hours at that.
Yep.
No, don't ask Ozza.
Yeah, I'm just really nauseous.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to say it, but I honestly think I could do it. Like, it doesn't look that difficult, and I think Kylan could have went a long time, but he slipped, and because he was thinking about why Tiffany was doing what she was doing or whatever.
I think they both screwed up. Tiffany and Kylan both kind of screwed up here, and I think whoever ended up winning this was going to take heat. So it ends up being Tiffany here also, I think, to take the heat. But if she had dropped for Kylan, I think it would have been him taking the heat here tonight.
No, Kylan would have reversed it and say, "Why didn't Tiffany drop earlier? Now I had to win."
But it's worse for Tiffany because Sarah Beth's gone in Kylan's case, so he doesn't really have to defend that kind of position. Whereas they're like, well, Tiffany, why you're always clamoring on everybody like they gotta cut their person when it's their time. And now it's, we all agreed Claire was supposed to be next week. You already were HOH last week. It was taken from you, but not really because we still controlled it. So you're taking. So it's kind of like she has at least a 2 week in a row HOH, and controlling Claire's invisible HOH.
Did we not just see Kylan have 2 weeks in a row practically with Sarah Beth?
Well, the two of them, even Kylan and Tiffany, are making themselves bigger and bigger targets. And forget about going after Big D at 6. What's the point? These two will have to take a shot at each other first. The way this is going.
Well, Big D keeps on talking about breaking up the alliance. Honestly,
the alliance is down to 8 almost here, so it's they're
constantly.
Very stupid to be doing that when Tiffany's in power. I understand doing that if Kylan was in power or something, and he felt like that would benefit him. But does he want to go home? I don't. I think he might. We saw it tonight. He's over it. Jeff over it Mader.
Jeff over it Mader. Yeah.
Okay, so this whole thing tonight where she's like, you give me a shot, I will take it, and she does so. She's not apologetic about this. I think she's thinking that people are mad at me, but this is going to blow over by the time the next eviction
Why didn't
happens.
Xavier win it?
He had agreed that Ozza would win it. He dropped before Ozza, so he
didn't need to do that.
Well,
he could have dropped before Kylan dropped, or stayed on it until Kylan left.
Jameel, I think Amanda has the exact same opinion that you do about this whole situation. That Xavier's being a baby. That
don't say that about X. Don't say that about my ex, man.
Seriously. Since the competition ended, he complained all night.
Yeah.
And then he complained the next day. You're seeing multiple days in action, and he was this sour the entire time.
Yeah.
The entire time.
And there's validity to it. You can tell.
We're both in the cookout, okay? We grilling together.
Right. They're grilling together. And he doesn't feel like he's getting, his hot dog or his burger.
So what you're telling me is a king is mad that they're on the block 3 times in a row.
Well, yeah, he's okay. Yeah, he's kind of got that Cody Calafiore thing where how dare you, you would think of my name even being mentioned by your friend or anything like that, right?
Right. He said tonight about the thing, Dave, where this is gonna be a third week on the third week in a row on the block, and then Amanda said, well, you chose to be on the block, last week, so
and
that's
you were
kind
never
of
in
BS.
danger. And what are you really complaining about? Are you actually asking for our sympathy here, Xavier?
I want Alyssa to get voted out, and then tell Brittany what he said, and then Brittany blow up on her about it 3 times in a row. 3 times. He's complaining about 3 times.
Do I think she should drop an album? Probably not. But
yeah, he's not signing off on that with Brittany. He's no. Can't rap about him. Yeah, okay. So tonight's episode, this is them all breaking down. I still am finding Kylan more and more unlikable every episode. Whereas I do find myself rooting for Tiffany quite a bit, despite her. Where's my nickname in the quotes? I don't know who to be here tonight.
Can't we talk about Kylan or get rid of Kylan? Kai.
No, I don't want to even like bring him up. Like,
Dave, this should be Dave the Last Stand Mater because for Xavier for X.
Okay, what's that? The X-Men.
This is the last stand for the X-Man. And
No, it's not. This is just a bump in the road for the X-Men. Don't worry about him. Even though he's on the block, it doesn't matter here tonight. He ends up on the block, of course. We haven't even mentioned that. But
I see a situation this week, guys, where Tiffany turns on this cookout. And I see it happening because like if Xavier wins the veto and does what I just said and gives the veto to Alyssa, you really think Tiffany's just going to go, oh, yeah, I'm going to put up Claire when she's making a Final Four with Claire right now with Hannah and Azza? Like Shada. Is her key going to say Shada when they go?
It's not. It's just a nickname.
I know. But do you guys, all right, I want to ask you guys both. Do you think there's a realistic chance that Claire makes the Final Four in this season? Amanda said no too. Like, no way.
No chance. Me and Amanda on the same page.
Well, Claire's not really worried about that. Claire just wants to get to Final 7, I believe, right?
If this alliance breaks up this week, like I am slightly predicting, I think there's a chance Claire makes Final Four.
This is my best case scenario.
Because then the cookout and the whole thing about it is out the window. Once it gets blown up, it's every man for themselves.
Once one of the 6 are gone?
No, once it gets blown up. Once it gets like everyone knows about the cookout, including Claire.
Who's everybody? Like Claire and like
the jury
and Claire?
Claire and the jury.
I think the jury practically already know.
They don't know though. Like at least they haven't told us they know yet.
Not like they have theories, but nothing definitive. Yes, that's what they show us on the show so far. I don't think they said we know.
Percentage chance, Dave. Claire makes Final Four.
Am I forgetting something? Where they said on the show that the jury knows about the cookout exactly?
They didn't know exactly. They were theorizing. Dave, percentage chance Claire makes Final Four.
I think it's higher than you think.
I think it's pretty high. I think it's about 40%. I think it's okay.
I think it's more like 10%, 20%, something like that.
0.
Okay.
The cha is like in chop. Sarah Beth named the cookout manners in an interview. Oh, did she? Is that what you refer to then, Jaemeel?
I'm not saying anything. It's not spoiler time.
But she did say in the exit interview, well, because Kylan said, I am in the majority alliance. He did say that, and it kind of went like this when he said it. So,
then what is it? What would be that she maybe deduced it? Like Sarah Beth has her own theory.
No.
Or she just knows?
Didn't deduce it. Kylan spent like a whole night basically painting a scenario to Sarah Beth about alliance that has been there from day one,
right?
And then he basically is like, yeah, that alliance I was talking about, I'm in it.
Yeah,
right?
In that hypothetical dream. Okay, let me get this straight. He told her the night before, imagine there was an alliance, Sarah Beth, where it was it had a mission for a black winner, and it was called the cookout. Imagine
he didn't go to that extent.
Okay, but
she can easily deduce it because she knows, like, once you start. And same thing with Xavier, with Derek X. Once they realize that everyone had a pair, it just makes like a million and one sense who's in that alliance.
Yeah. Well, there's only so many options, right? Left too. There's a finite number of theories you can also put together,
and you just look for a common denominator, and it's pretty evident.
Yeah,
what the denominator is.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that much of a leap. So the issue remaining with it is, how do you control the narrative? And the unfortunate part is Kylan right now is the one controlling the narrative, right?
Yeah.
Because he's the only one who's detailing all this information. We're there talking about who's being selfish. Kylan's already going into business for himself, right? And just nobody can see it. And then the moment that one of the cookout members gets to the jury and finds out that this man has been basically going behind their back and talking about it, he's like, I think he's going to be done. I don't think people are going to vote for him. Right?
That is what is best for the cookout.
Right.
He's saying that, but he really means that's what's best for me.
For Kylan.
Tiffany's doing that's what's best for me. Xavier is not doing what's best for him and then complaining and whining about it, right? Ozza can't do nothing. Derek F can't do anything.
Mary wants to ask, why does Big D think he stated the cookout? Did he?
He started the cookout. He
What-
didn't. He keeps.
Oh,
he's
Big D thinks he
delusional.
started the cookout?
He's delusional and he keeps
Yeah.
telling people that he started the cookout.
No,
He
he
didn't.
didn't. Well,
Tiffany
he explained it to Xavier way back when, didn't he? Like, I think I have something from the very beginning.
From the very beginning, I remember somebody asking Big D to be in the cookout, and he was like, I'm good with that. So that is delusional.
Yeah, here it is. I got it right here.
So wait, do we agree that this is gonna be called the cookout? Is that what we doing?
Uh-huh.
All right, the cookout. I like that. I like that.
That's not what we said.
That's for the culture. The cookout.
You had to say
Right.
it like 3 times.
So I guess he agreed with Xavier. I don't know if he
didn't
signed
start
off on
nothing.
it.
He didn't start nothing.
He didn't start.
That was also, I remember that was in the kitchen and like
Yeah.
with a lot of people in the house. And so like that was what kind of did work about this alliance is that like, yeah, they never like got power and went up to the HOH room and all hung out and they,
And
you know,
stupid dance and like, oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna.
No, they were very subtle about it. They went out of their way to not be too obvious about it. They tried to be more like level 6 style.
yeah.
Uh,
And the thing is like at the end of the day, these people don't seem to like each other like on a like some of them do but like on a strategic level like the whole thing with Kylan and Tiffany last week like and I really think that one person is you. What a bunch of bull that was. Like
Yeah.
they don't trust each other, like not at all. Like, you know, Claire trusts Chada and Claire way more than she trusts a lot of her alliance members. And that's why I think this is the week, guys. I really do think that this is the week where we could see on Thursday Kylan and Xavier sitting next to each other.
Kylan, trying to have the power veto used on you this week is a very selfish move.
Didn't like that.
You are sitting on the block next to Sarah Beth, right where we all agreed you should be. I got my eye on you.
She's fulfilling that promise. She's remember saying that. We got a comment here from Ramona. She says they need to get out X and not Claire. What are they thinking?
What are they thinking? They're trying to think for the culture. That's, but yes, absolutely. Look, if the cookout didn't exist, if we're like playing Big Brother, you
Yeah.
get rid of X and you don't think twice about it,
No.
right? Right? If this was any other season, X would be there and Kylan would be on the block with him.
Right.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's why I think Tiffany is getting to the point where she's like, I can. She's HOH this week. She knows she can't play next week. And I think she's getting to the point where it's like, I'm going to take my shot. Kind of like when DX took a shot against Christian. And maybe it will bite Tiffany in the butt, just like it bit DX in the butt. But I hope that I hope we see fireworks on Thursday. I really do.
Mary thinks Tiffany is going next because of this. Like Tiffany is not thinking long term here and is kind of to the detriment of her game. This is a short, but like to be fair, we thought that about Tiffany really early. We thought she was going to maybe like overdo it in the first couple of weeks. At least I did. And she's held pretty strong here throughout the season, right? She's always kind of bounced back from sort of being on the outs when she has been here and there. It never seems to go that bad for her.
But Dave, let me ask you a
Yes.
question. If
Sure.
everything plays out how it's supposed to go and Alyssa goes, right? And then you have double eviction, do you not think it is so tempting for people to say, I know we're so close to like getting to 6, but I'm going to take my shot. I'm going to take my shot right now because it's double eviction time and it's going to be a quick turnaround.
Are you asking me if it would be tempting?
Do you think the temptation is strong enough that people would actually do it and try to take a shot against the alliance?
Yes, I think the temptation is very strong. I think the fact that the prize is higher than ever, I think especially so, because if they kept it at the 500,000, maybe I might give you a different answer. But I think because there's 3 quarters and it's higher than ever, I think that in that they're getting closer. They can taste the money, right? They can, they're all thinking about there's only a few weeks left. There's a couple. Yeah.
Do you guys not see the narrative changing here from a racial thing to a gender thing? Because I do.
Well, yeah, that was tonight where Tiffany's like, sure, I can spin it for my own game or my own post game life that, hey, I stuck with the woman. I was with the Cookout Alliance for as long as I could be, and then it didn't work for me anymore, so I switched to an all girls alliance with what was left. Which was mostly Cookout members and Claire, who I've been rolling with the whole time. She can totally, like, even in her final 2 speech, could spin that, right? It was just like, I saw that in that alliance, I was maybe not going to win in the end, and so I had to do what was best for me. And I think she thinks that most of the jurors will respect that. Maybe not. Even her Cookout members will.
I don't think Derek F would respect that because he's going to be bitter as F. Xavier ain't going to respect that because he's going to be bitter. Kylan, who cares about that dude? Seriously, maybe we just reset. I do not want him to have a jury speech where he has to address the jury because that will be the most inane BS. Right?
Well, what if we drop the attitude on both our parts?
And I try to decide which one of you I don't want to vote for first, and then that's kind of what it's going to be.
It doesn't mean that I'm not sad about it.
This guy, he's sad. Don't think he's not sad just because he has to do these moves.
Everyone in the house tonight was pissed off or sad. Everyone. No, only
Tiffany. Tiffany was fine.
Claire, no, Tiffany was kind of pissed off because she had to defend herself a little bit. I don't think she likes having to do that. And she likes to be on the attack. That's kind of how she plays. But I think the only person who wasn't upset or pissed off tonight was Claire. Yeah. That was it.
Yay!
Claire was having a blast. She's like, there's no way they're blindsiding me this week.
Because I'm definitely going to Final 7.
She's riding high. She's got...
It's really working out.
So proud of Tiffany. I'm so excited.
So excited.
So excited.
I just see your eyes just bulge.
Amazing.
Amazing. She's just along for the ride.
Yeah, I love it.
She's like, oh my God, I'm going to the 7. I might win by accident. Who knows?
I really think she could make Final 4 by accident and then get axed, but like I really think she could do it.
I'm so stoked.
Jeff, I think that if Alyssa makes it to Final 4, she'll win America's Favorite Player.
Yeah, maybe. Or what about if Claire makes it to Final 4?
No chance.
No chance.
Excited? No, I don't think so.
Excited.
Mary says here she's sick of Big D and Azza.
Mary, me too. And I have Azza in this draft. I feel conflicted in terms of going against myself because look. I know I'm saying that these challenges are not necessarily easy to win. It's true, but my gosh, man, I don't even know if you can throw a victory and have these people win. Like they can't.
That's why I'm
they're hopeless.
I knew she was in trouble when she couldn't roll a ball down the table. I knew she was in trouble then. I was like, she's never winning anything.
Convinced that it was not real. There's no way that Azza was being serious trying to like do that balance, like that ball down there, and was staring at it, like trying to almost move it with her mind. And it's like, there's no way this is like a legitimate effort, but it was.
I just said to myself, she's not winning anything. That's what I said to myself.
I would appreciate to feel heard.
Yeah, it was her time to win. She's in this alliance. This was her designated week. Everyone agreed, and it was taken from her, Jeff.
The only way that people would have been for her to win is if Kylan and Tiffany just dove off of that thing.
It should have been when Xavier dropped. They should have dropped like a moment later. Like, whoops! What do you mean, Xavier? What? Ah! And then that should have been it. And then
I just love that this house is not getting its way. I love the fact that Xavier and all these other people have finally woken up to the fact that, hey, this is an individual game.
Yeah.
And only one person, like Tiffany said tonight, can have their name on that check at the end. And guess what? Throwing competitions at Final 9 or 8, whatever it is right now,
Final
to
8,
anybody, Final 9, to anybody, it is, what are you doing? Like, this is what I've been frustrated for the last 3 weeks about, like, this alliance just doing this, just like, we're getting the 6, we're getting the 6, we're getting the 6. And then I think finally now, because of what Kylan tried to pull last week with trying to bat his eyes to Hannah and all this nonsense that's been going on with Kylan, I mean, he is playing the snakiest game in the house. He's doing the DR thing. And, like, what do you expect Tiffany to do? Like, she's gonna make sure that guy don't win, because she doesn't buy the I really, I figured out that person is you. That whole
she'd much rather it be her who wins than him. And she's thinking, like, at the end, like, okay, great, alliance and making history and all that. That's great. Whatever. I want what's going to be great history when I win this money.
Yeah.
That's the history she wants. And
I feel like, honestly, people are forgetting how snaky he was just like a couple days ago with that Hannah veto business. Like, that is pure idiocy. Right?
No self-awareness.
Debbie here saying, if these girls don't come together and get these guys out, then they are going to go home by one. That they're giving this to Kylan and Xavier and I guess Big D.
It's 2v3. It's 2v3.
If it's Tiffany's shot to take, Debbie, if Tiffany takes the shot this week at Kylan and Xavier, I am so here for this. I am getting my popcorn. I'm yum yum yum. I am here for this season because I want to see the house, especially Xavier and Kylan, not get their way. And if Tiffany's the person to do it, perfect. I'm pro Tiffany all the way, and I want Tiffany to win.
You tell me that it wouldn't be awesome if it turns around we have an all-girls alliance in the finals? An all-girls alliance? The much rumored, like, the heavy contested.
The thing that never worked.
It would never work. That is like, we did it. We did it, y'all. Right? Just imagine that. How about for that culture, too? For that culture.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and there's only two. Well, there's 3, I guess, black women in the house, right? That could win, right?
Yes.
And so, like, that would be cool if it's 2 black women in the end. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. But at the same time, Tiffany can go, you can stop calling me Tiffany. I'm going to go by my real name. And that's called Mary Sue. Because I'm controlling this.
I feel
crushing all those men's dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's
like,
too powerful. She's too powerful.
Her power grows stronger every day.
Yes.
We will not be able to face her for long.
The male tears would just.
So you can just call me the Grill Master.
The Grill Master.
Just the tears. The tears. Oh, you think there's butthurt people about, like, the racial divide? Just think about all the crying from, like, this is not fair. This is not fair. The matriarchy is too strong. It's not, this is what CBS wanted. This is not fair. You see how they've had all these challenges and Big D couldn't win? Oh my gosh. They wanted to win this. Come on. I already see it happening.
Oh man, this. I'm all here for it. If this house finally doesn't get their way, because I mean, that's what I watch Big Brother for, is to watch the majority not get their way and then lose their minds.
Yeah, and so really the alliance this week seems to be mostly grumpy to me that they're not getting Claire out first. They're like, whatever, I guess Tiffany will get Alyssa out first, and then we'll get but then we definitely are getting Claire out next week, unless Claire wins. And even like Claire says that tonight. Claire, but what if she did? Like, could she win by accident?
She would be knocked unconscious and accidentally fall over the finish line.
Here's a question from Mary. So, do you think if Alyssa won the veto, and I have no idea if we have the spoilers yet, or who's won anything.
Well, I haven't looked it up. I haven't looked it up yet. No.
Yeah. So do you think if Alyssa won? I'm just saying I don't know anything. So, do you think if Alyssa won veto, do you think Tiffany will win if she will put up Claire?
Is that a path to victory for Tiffany?
Well, yeah,
if
she potentially burned the bridge with Claire, by putting her up. Worst case scenario.
I think she should take her shot here, regardless. That's my opinion. I think she should put up Kylan and Xavier on Thursday.
So here's my opinion on the matter. Mary, I'm going to answer your specific question. If that does occur, right, and she has to put up Claire, supposedly,
right,
and put her up. Do you think she can still win? Of course she can. I don't know where this we're beholden to send off our plus ones, like they're noble warriors, and we must build a bonfire and send their body down the river Styx, right? And with arrows and a prayer.
And pennies in their eyes.
All these people, yes, dimes in their eyes to pay the toll. These people are going to be all gone. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you get to the end, you'll be able to say your piece and why you did what you have to do. And the fact that you made it to the end justifies everything that you did to make it there. So I don't care about this, oh no, Claire's going to be mad at me. She's going to be so mad. It doesn't matter. She lost. She's going to be mad.
Claire.
She's going to be mad. All of them going to be mad except the two people at the end, because they didn't win, and then the two people at the end will have to justify their actions.
Here's the question, though: if Tiffany is Tiffany willing to go against her entire alliance, and she can't be HOH next week, so she has to hope no one will target her based on going against sort of the house or the alliance or whatever you want to call it, right? If she's like, no, there's no way in hell I ever put Claire on the block. Screw you. Whoever else you want to go up against, Xavier. This is in this situation where Alyssa win the veto. Then I would. What? I don't know. Does Tiffany do that or not, or does Tiffany know that she can't do that? There's no way. The long-term strategy is she can't alienate them all over this.
Tiffany could do whatever she wants to do at this point. She's HOH. Now her decision is, what does she think is the best route for her? Now, if she wants to go with the cookout, that's her decision. She'll have to, do what she needs to do and hope that the team stays true to what they said. But at the same time, if she takes the power in her own hands and puts Kylan against DX up, if someone happens to win veto and brings himself down, then that's also her decision. And that I think that could be her route to winning as well. So
I have an answer to that question, Dave. Okay, if you're Tiffany, okay, and you have the chance to take out either Kylan or Xavier this week, yes, you're blowing up the alliance. Yes, you're pissing off Ozza and Big D. Who cares? You're taking out two of the biggest competitors for HOH. You're at least one of them. You're taking out one of them, and there's double eviction coming up. Okay, so if you have Chada on your side, you have Claire on your side. Who else does she have? Is that it?
Claire.
Yeah, Claire and Chada. Is that it? Kind of because
that's locks, yes.
So basically, she has two players playing for her in the double, and wouldn't you rather? To me, if I was Tiffany, wouldn't you rather roll that dice than put your fate in the hands of Xavier and Kylan and hope that you get to the end, because they're going to win an HOH, guaranteed. So if you take out one of them, you have a way better odds, in my opinion.
One of who? Claire,
one of Kylan or Xavier. If you take out one of those two people, if you're Tiffany, and you take that shot, I just think it's smart.
If that's the case, Jeff, and you're going to go down that route, you got to come clean to Claire and Alyssa and let them know what's going on and say, hey, we got to team up. So it wouldn't just be those two. It'll be all four.
We have to say bygones be bygones. We were in this alliance called the Cookout, but that's over now. And now I want to work with you.
All girls alliance.
She would be the biggest hero this season from the audience perspective. And even if she didn't win the game, she's winning America's favorite player.
I don't know. I think I don't know if you can say that she's the hero. I think she'd be a villain or a hero to many different. It would be very much a matter of perspective, right?
I don't know. For me, I think she would be the hero because everyone is frustrated. I think most people are frustrated with this season because it's just been stale. It's just been the same. It's the line for the alliance for the six. The six needs to win. The six. I think everybody
like you don't want to see it like come like at least it was worth it. They got to it and they did it. Like woo, they made the history and that's
we saw but I don't care about the history. I care about the shot being fired and explosions and like 4th of July going off. That's what I want to see happen because I watch this for entertainment purposes, not for history. You know,
you want Tiffany to become Kenny Powers and just start like
yes.
I don't care.
That's what I want. And if it happens, Tiffany is my new favorite player of all time.
Well,
because she's not playing sort of like the safe game, and I think that if anybody's gonna go rogue, it's probably Tiffany, as Kylan was sort of alluding to in
I disagree. The person who would go rogue the quickest is DF. If DF wins like this Thursday, he's like, "Oh, Tiffany, I'm putting you up so quick." So
Tiffany
quick.
and who?
It's like,
Tiffany and Hannah will go up in a second.
Claire? It's like, no.
Okay, let's say Big D wins the HOH next week
in the double. This is the double this Thursday,
right? Does he not go after Claire? Or no, sorry. Oh yeah. Or Alyssa, whoever.
He can but he could say, okay, I'm putting up Claire and Tiffany, and he doesn't control who goes, right? So he can all he does is control his own safety by winning.
Say it's Claire or Alyssa. It's going to be one of these people probably voted at this week, right? Unless Tiffany takes a shot, I hope. But say Big D does win, right? Does he go after Tiffany? Does he go after Tiffany anyway?
Yes.
With another cookout member? I think he does. I think he puts up Tiffany and Kylan. That's what I think he would do.
No, he wouldn't put up Kylan.
You don't think so?
Kylan.
Oh, not Kylan. Maybe Xavier then.
No, Hannah.
It would be Tiffany and Hannah.
Because
He doesn't
Tiffany meant to be able to vote.
Hannah didn't take him to Dear Evan Hansen, Jeff. Don't you?
That's right. That's right. And he's tapping on the window. He's waving.
Thanks, Anna.
Yeah, where is it? Where he was.
By the way, I watched that today. I watched the play.
Yeah, like
really good, really good.
You ready for the movie?
I'm ready for the movie now. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only listened to a few of the songs, but they do seem really good. But yeah, where's my
Hannah, you definitely did me dirty, and I will not forget it, my love.
He will not forget it.
I would love his his nomination speech. The reason why is because one, Tiffany, I don't like you, and you, Hannah, because you didn't invite me to Dear Hansen.
yeah. And just to watch Tiffany's face.
I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Or Tiffany, you on your second HOH victory, you didn't pick Beyonce, you picked Chris Brown, and so that's why I have to put you up.
Did you like it? Did you love his whole moment tonight, Jaemeel, where he was like, I don't care about your HOH, honey. He's like, I don't care. I'm not listening to your Beyonce CD. Screw you.
She had Chris Brown.
Oh, Chris Brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not impressed. He left.
I
he went downstairs and sulked. I didn't think that was a good look. You know.
Okay, look at. Can we talk about that moment where they all go down, like they all come up and say, hey, Tiffany, you did great. And we have to put on a happy face. And then immediately they're like, okay, let's go sit in the family room and freaking just trash Tiffany.
I thought that they're creating this whole boys versus girls dynamic by doing that. They were kind of like, it was kind of like, it was not, I don't think it was good for their individual games to do.
They should have kept somebody up there. Yeah. Xavier should have stayed in that room. That was stupid of him to do that.
Just imagine if Claire leaves. What is Claire imparting to the jury? And there's a clear division in the cookout with men versus women. And
Claire is only going to say about how much she loves Tiffany.
So petty that Tiffany won.
Claire's going to be like, Tiffany is so great.
So proud of Tiffany. I'm so excited. So excited.
Just imagine though, in all the other times that people won, they were fake and they were like, oh, congratulations, Kylan. Oh, you did such a great job. And then when Tiffany won that second time, you see how everyone turned on it. If that is the impression that they leave, and Claire or Alyssa or whoever leaves, they're going to mention it to the jury, and the jury's going to have that in mind place. It's like, man, those dudes are acting pretty petty. Like when it was their turn to be HOH, everyone fell in line, but all of a sudden, Tiffany is HOH and things turn around. Right now, we know that's not entirely true, but remember, perception is reality, and the little bit of information that they have is what they're going to perceive.
Right. Okay. Was there any other moments on the show tonight that we didn't cover before we get into the spoiler
We
section?
just went all over the place, dude.
Yeah, I know. This wasn't a completely like linear recap. We kind of we just mostly spoke about how this cookout alliance, what the dynamics here are, especially with Tiffany. I guess more than the fact that Azza didn't win this, right? Like she was supposed to and didn't.
Dave, we didn't talk about the Alyssa conversation with Tiffany. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, but also not, because ultimately Tiffany doesn't pay it any mind.
I thought it was interesting, but ultimately not.
Okay, let's move on to spoilers.
Pointless. Interesting, but pointless would be the summary.
I liked it a lot because it showed me that Alyssa actually is thinking about the game, but doesn't care enough to be fake to do it. You know, I feel like you're right, Jaemeel. She could win America's Favorite Player, but she has to show she's willing to get up from a right hook, like Big D was saying with his dad,
Oh, she's in the DR, Jeff, and she's like, I just hope that Tiffany doesn't take a shot at X.
Right.
You don't even Tiffany and X are working together. Come on.
She would have to get to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
She could have been, she had more potential, but unfortunately she's completely cut out of the social dynamics of the game. They tell her nothing. She's just this sad sort of mopey, tag along.
But she's not even trying, Dave. She's not even trying to get the info. She's just basically over it. She doesn't want to be fake. We saw that whole thing tonight with that. And
she told us right from the minute we met her in the first thing.
My fake smile is really bad.
Right.
And it's been all like that all year.
Right, but remember when things were going well for Alyssa and she walked in, she was like, I've arrived, and she had that whole moment, and she only likes to play this game from a position of power, which makes me not respect her game,
I will never die.
Yeah, there it is.
Alyssa is here. Yes.
She had Brittany as a cheerleader. She felt a lot better about herself.
Oh no, I'm on slop again. Boo hoo.
I'm
Was no one on
this.
slop last week?
I guess.
Because they're acting like middle schoolers.
Yeah, I don't know. Alyssa's she's hard to root for. But in this segment tonight, where she was breaking down everything for Tiffany, she actually was making a lot of good sense. And it was interesting to see her do that. Although I think and Jaemeel, I know you and I disagree on that, but I think just wearing the sunglasses the whole time is kind of sketch. While you're talking.
Sketch Lissa?
Sketch Lissa maybe is going to be my new name. Yeah, it just, so I'm but I get she's nervous or whatever, and she's at sort of the mercy of Tiffany here, and Tiffany's yeah, straight up, I'm gonna probably put up you an X, and I haven't fully decided, but of course, she's like, well, here's my pitch. She's like, oh, pitch away, I love a good pitch.
At least Claire is talking to Tiffany. She feels like she's safe. She feels like she's in the thick of the game. Alyssa would rather just go sit in the have not room and just be like, oh, is Xavier gonna come say hi to me? That's how she's playing. And it's
sorry, I just read the name change. Yes. Yes.
Yes. And is Alyssa here? Can she die? I feel like she can very easily.
I think she died a long time ago. No one told us, or her for that matter. It's she's been sort of going okay, but that's why I think we need to get to the spoiler section of this. Okay. So, in the terms of the show, ultimately here she puts up her anyway. She puts up her next, so she sticks with it. Even though she's talking about I might do something else, and maybe we'll see something later in the week. But for now, it's sort of she seems to be sticking with the plan, other than she's sort of annoyed her alliance more than anything, because Claire will not seemingly go before Alyssa. All right, we're getting into our spoiler section. If you're leaving us now, make sure to check us out here for on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be checking out both of those CBS and they air here on Global in Canada episodes for Big Brother 23 week 9. Also check out our Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. We just did Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings yesterday morning as part of our new MCU podcast. Check out all that content if you're into that kind of stuff. You can find out everything starting with WandaVision in the 2021 year. Also, we have Live Long and Podcast, our Star Trek theme channel, where we always talk about Star Trek. On Monday nights, Star Trek Original Series. Tuesday nights, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And Thursday nights, right now, we're talking about Star Trek Lower Decks, second season, along with Davin Skellhorn, who's joining us from the Cuters of Trek, which is his podcast, which is a real intellectual Star Trek podcast, which I really would recommend. And what else? Oh, and our third channel, Trivial Debates, which is our monthly game show where we argue about movies, TV, sports, and more. Plus my son's podcast, he's starting his first year of college Tuesday. Eamon Mader, he's got his podcast called Let's Talk About Fighting Games. And with that, we're going to get you some spoiler warning, and we're going to talk about everything that's happening with the veto and later for this week leading up to the double eviction. All right, here we go. There you go, and throw up the banner. And so we are in spoiler mode here.
Our competitors for the veto are everyone except Ozza and Claire.
Yeah.
Ozza and Claire didn't get to compete in the veto.
Correct.
Okay.
Saints deserve them.
Okay, so can you tell me the result of the veto? Okay. I think I also saw it was maybe in the comments earlier. But go ahead, Jaemeel. Tell us who it is.
What's the worst possible scenario?
For the cookout?
What?
Alyssa won. And also here's a comment from Debbie saying that Claire is now the presumptive nominee. But why, Jaemeel? You said that Tiffany doesn't have to do. Tiffany can do whatever the hell she wants. She doesn't have to. She doesn't have to buy into this alliance.
She'll placate the alliance. So a little nuggets of what happened Saturday night. Kylan told Xavier that Tiffany wants Xavier to convince Alyssa to use the veto on him, and that they'll vote Alyssa out. Now Xavier is upset at the idea. Now, keep in mind, this was Kylan's idea, and he just was framing.
Wait, so Kylan tried to get Xavier to convince Alyssa to use the veto on him.
Right.
Yes.
Right? Okay, you got that right. Okay, just want to make sure.
No.
Seems like a Kylan deal. That's a Kylan deal.
So prior to this, Derek F. Threatened, as he always does, to go off on Tiffany if she doesn't read on Claire, right? And Xavier thought it would be Kylan if Tiffany goes after anyone in the cookout. So there you go, Jeff. I was there.
Yeah.
At the same time, DF was boasting that he makes every situation better and believes that viewers are watching the show because of him.
Because of Kylan?
No, DF.
Oh, because you know what? He's the most entertaining person for me for me. I don't think.
I think he's a polarizing figure, Jeff. I think much like your appreciation for the great Zach Rance, you tend to like some of these characters that maybe don't.
Zach was entertaining. DF is just a big baby and he doesn't win anything.
I agree, but I like some of the moments with him, and he makes me laugh. Give him
a diaper. Give him
this mouth right here is dangerous.
Right, stuff like this.
So, word has passed along to Hannah and Ozza that the men of the cookout have been saying that they've been carrying the women, and they don't like that.
Is DF thrown in with that too? Because how can he be like this guy who was nothing?
He's been saying it.
So he's not carrying anybody in this game.
Yeah, he can't even carry Ozza.
Yeah,
I agree.
But is that really his perception of things?
Like the men were all talking, and they were talking about how tired they were carrying the women, which doesn't make any sense because I'm pretty sure the last set of last 4 challenges have been all women.
Yeah.
One.
Right.
Yeah. So
I remember when Derek F said this.
I first want to say thank you to God. Thank you to my mother, Sherry. She's took care of me my whole entire life. She still takes care of me this day and handles every bills, even when she struggles.
Yeah,
here's the deal with
her mom.
Here's the deal. Why I think Big D's doing this, because he told us already. He said the reason why he's making it like the whole boys thing is because he wants to get to the end, the final 3, with both Kylan and Xavier, and have one of them force them to take him. So at least he gets $75,000 out of it. That's his whole game. He wants to finish second place.
I would say Tiffany started the cookout more than any member, right?
All I'm saying, it wasn't him.
Who cares who started it? It's what matters is how they kept silent the whole time, and they actually were an effective alliance. That's really all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, whoever takes credit for it, I think, who cares? You know,
I'm excited about this Wednesday episode because I don't know the details of how Alyssa won it, but I have to believe that it wouldn't surprise me if Xavier threw it to her.
Just a spider.
So, well, I doubt it anyways.
Just so Xavier wouldn't play it on her.
He said he wasn't playing Mr. Nice Guy anymore.
Ooh. Maybe he might win
Watch out.
HOH next this Thursday. Maybe he might actually win for a change.
He's giving me lawyer vibes.
He might turn up those lawyer vibes.
The challenge that they have was like the mini, like make the mini thing. Like who won it last time? Davon won it, I believe, last year.
The mini what?
You know, the mini put together stuff, like the mini challenge where you have to like work with mini items. The one that
Like
Davon
eggs?
won last year. It wasn't eggs. It was like
yes. Now okay, it's coming back to me now. Yes, I recall. It's like you have to
whatever
create a
the
little
mini challenge.
diorama or something.
Like it's the mini challenge, whatever it is.
Yeah, the miniature challenge. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, so
another challenge that is perfectly suited for
Alyssa.
Fat Fingers Derek F.
Yeah, this is not a Derek F competition, you're saying?
No, it isn't. It's gonna look like he's like
No.
of Mice and Men. He's gonna look like, I forget the big guy's name. Right? They probably kill the bunny.
Yeah, his father, you know, and his family, they wear boxing gloves. Those are more blunt. They're not meant for delicate things.
They need to give him something to punch.
So there was a conversation at 3:30 today about Tiffany telling Claire that you might be going up. Okay,
Yeah.
So just listen to a little bit of this, just so you guys get an idea of what's going on. Tiff says, I do have the opportunity to stay in this game. I don't want to lie to you, even though she did right before when she was asked, are you in an alliance? Claire says, are you in an alliance with them? Tiff says, no. I had my own way I wanted to play this game. If you go, I know I'm behind you, and that is fine with me. I do think you have a chance with Shada and Azza and even Kai. Claire says, I don't think Kai will keep X over me. And, Tiff says, I don't want you to give up. And Claire says, no, obviously not. And then Tiff says, I couldn't lie to you. You mean too much to me. If it makes you feel differently about me, then I can't hold anything against you. You love and respect you. Claire says, I know. Tiff says, I want you to fight. I don't want X to stay in this house. Claire says, you have to play this game how you said you were going to. And if I go, I won't hold it against you. Claire is crying. Claire says, when I came in this game, I said I would not care about anyone. But when I saw you, I knew I would go to the end with you. And I knew if I got to the end with you, you would win. She says, if I go this week, you fight and you win this veto. Tiff says, I have so much respect for you, Claire. And Claire says, I have so much respect for you. You know, how the hell does Tiffany do this? Like, how does she convince her tightest ally, Claire's, apparently going to the 7, guaranteed, and she's thanking her for sending her home? What in the hell is going on in this house?
How is this happening? It's beyond reason. It's like Claire is beyond reason.
Yeah.
Like she is so brainwashed by Tiffany. This is
the
wild.
mist is strong. The mist is strong.
Yeah,
she's a bad player, guys. She's a really bad.
She was
Big
a
Brother
super
player.
fan.
Yeah, she's a really bad Big Brother player. Like out of 10, -1.
I do artificial intelligence engineering.
I'm sure she's a really nice person, but DRs, strategy, competitions, like every facet of this game, not good. And maybe it's not all her own fault. Like she was thrown into this season at the last minute, as an alternate. But man, this is bad.
I know they're not cheering for me.
She's setting up the path for how I'm gonna play if I ever get on the show. Right? I just need to be slightly better, and
Well, Claire is up there for me with like players like Christmas Abbott, who are like they are so invested in other players in the game they can't even they don't even care that they win. It's not even important to them they win. They it's like all that matters to them is the cause, and for Claire it's Tiffany.
So in some people's cases, they're the hero in their own story. For Claire, that's not the case. Tiffany is her hero.
The hero of Claire's story.
Yeah, it's the hero of Claire's story.
Right.
Right. She's
Like,
gonna be crying harder than Tiffany if Tiffany wins.
Yeah. What do you think Tiffany is to Claire? Like, Claire is bisexual. So is this more of like just a friend,
No.
or is it no? This is not romantic.
This is
I don't
not
think so.
romantic, dude. It's not.
Maybe more motherly, like a mother figure.
Maternal. Okay. Like
Xavier's obsession with Alyssa, that is like in his pants.
Yeah, he's thinking with the wrong head, is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, don't. What about Christian? 10 out of 10.
What? Who's Christian?
No, whatever I got Alyssa to say.
Christian's a very good kisser, very soft lips. So I'd say he gets a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but I
The
find
person I think put Operation Nomance in jeopardy would be Alyssa.
Right. So we love triangle here.
Oh, and it's not OTEV, it's Zingbot, and supposedly the best Zing is Zingbot pointing out how much Azza loves Xavier. She's sore about it. I can't wait for Wednesday.
It's gonna be great.
So Mary's saying that the answer that she gave to Claire about why she has to put up Claire is that she cannot put up two people of color, is what Tiffany told Claire. That so therefore.
No, and she also said, Dave, that like, I know that they're all coming for me, and I know that Claire, I'm a bigger target than you now. So she's like, she has been saying, I've been struggling with this decision, and I really don't want to do. My personal game is conflicting with my strategic game, and she's like, she has said like, I don't know if I can live with myself. If I come out of the season a villain, I have to look back on this season and be proud of the way I play. That's what Tiffany's been saying.
And Claire believes that.
Well, yeah, she's eating it up. I don't know why, but like, here's the thing, like, take your shot, Tiffany, please. Like, I think in your gut that if you don't take the shot, you're not winning this game. You know, take your shot this week.
But she can't take a shot. She if she's think for vetoes, she has nothing to do.
Yeah, I've also have a report here that, by the way, something went down last night with Kai and Tiffany. Well, there was a lot going on in this episode tonight between, like, at least in their diary room sessions between Kai and Tiffany, and that they don't trust each other, and that you know, they the rift has been, you know, going here, and like them saying like we have to get out Big D before either of us because I don't get it. I still don't get it, even though like they may not like him or they think he doesn't deserve to win because they don't like him. So wait, Mary's saying nope in the bed. What do you mean, Kai and Tiffany in the bed?
No, I can't believe that. No.
Uh-oh.
Hate
yeah.
She hate effed him.
Yeah.
I hate you so much.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's a strategic move by Tiffany. She knows she's screwed, like, optics wise right now. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see that.
But you tell me that if let's say, for example, Kai and Tiff hook up in bed and SB finds out about it.
Well, wait, but SB has a relationship.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No.
You don't think she will feel betrayed?
She probably would.
I think Tiffany has a relationship.
No, she said she was single. She said she was single.
Oh yeah, Tiffany is single. Okay, so Tiffany and okay, whatever.
She's a single mother, but she's
She ain't got no ring.
No ring. Okay, well then go to it, Tiffany. But something went
That's
down.
the Beyonce reference again.
Interesting. Okay, like I don't know what to make of the dynamics of this alliance, this house. What's going to happen? But okay, but you're saying that. Okay, here's my question, Jaemeel. If you were Tiffany, would you put up Claire?
Claire?
Alyssa's coming down, right? Everything's playing out. You're in the same position that Tiffany's in. Thinking about like, okay, after this week, I don't play next week. I have to. What am I going to do? Yeah,
because I have two angels. I have two, and like an angel and devil on my shoulder.
All right.
Angel's going, put up Claire, do for the cookhouse, and then the devil's like, burn this mother to the ground. Poor
and who's that?
Over.
And Kylan. Kylan's the move to put up next to X.
Oh
right?
yeah, Dave. Like because the HOH is the key to the game in this final stretch. And if you leave both Kai and Xavier in this house, what are the odds for the girls? I mean, not good.
worse.
Especially motivated. They're going to be motivated now, and it's not going to. Tiffany needs to take her shot. Like I'm telling you, she needs to take her shot here.
Even more so, Jeff. We just had an endurance competition. It's going to be a while before we have another endurance competition. So that means you have the two most physical people in the house, and you're going to keep them in the game.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
just hear me out. Okay, she does. Okay, let's say like in this hypothetical situation where this cookout alliance, we're gonna make history, they were gonna do all these things, right? And then instead, Tiffany does this thing. She puts up Kylan and Xavier. Then somehow Alyssa wins, right? And then like somehow then
like wins the game. You mean wins the game?
Goes out and through a series of events, maybe we end up even with Claire and Alyssa in the final two.
Well, I don't think that'll happen.
And then no cookout member wins.
I doubt that ever happens.
I don't see that happen.
It could happen.
What I could see happening, Dave, is Xavier and Alyssa at the end of the game or something like that, where you know that's a possibility, and then Alyssa gets the votes because people are salty toward Xavier.
Because Ozza would vote for Alyssa, right? Because she would feel scorned, right? Tiffany, Dirk F if he got cut along the way, right?
Because I'm petty.
Because she's petty, yes. Sarah Beth, and also Brittany.
Right.
Yeah. Like that's a possibility, Dave. Is X and Alyssa? Because if that's the final two, could you imagine some of the speeches and some of the things?
Well, I think that Xavier still wins in the final two against Alyssa.
Maybe. You know, like
if
you think Tiffany?
If he drags Alyssa there because he wants to get his wet,
right?
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna. People are gonna be happy about that whatsoever.
But they gotta respect giving the money to Alyssa. Like they gotta be happy with that.
No,
that
they
outcome.
could do it because they're Kyle Petty.
How did Josh Martinez win?
Pettiness and bitterness, right?
Yeah, right.
Because I'm petty.
You know, how did Nicole?
Petty, but I guess that's what I am.
How did Nicole F win? Pettiness. You know.
Yeah, like and also KC, I'd say won a little bit.
KC.
Tyler, the people were scorned by Tyler.
Wibs.
Does he played too well?
But here's Sam's asking: does Alyssa have a shot to win? I would say, according to you two, yes. I would say, right, but like unlikely.
It's low. It's low, yeah. But I was thinking, like before I found out Claire's hitting the block, possibly. I still think Tiffany should make her move here, and maybe she'll sleep on it and come to that realization. But
she'll have an epiphany, a Tiffany epiphany.
She should, because like she's not getting to the end of the game, guys. If she leaves those two guys in the house, and she can't play next week, and it's a double.
Right. So the move is you abandon the cookout, you throw up X and Kylan, you get one of them out, then it's the double eviction. Now you've formed this female alliance where you have to now go after DF and Xavier and hope that one of those two don't win HOH. Right.
No, it would only be one of them technically.
Because I'm in my theoretical, Kylan gets voted out. Kylan goes up next to Xavier, and Kylan gets voted out.
You would keep X? No, you gotta vote that dude out.
No, you keep X. Kylan's a way bigger.
Let's go through the vote. Say both Kylan and X are up. Okay, Alyssa's voting for Kylan. Okay, let's go through the votes.
I don't know if you talked to her.
I mean, but she's good.
But she's not going to vote to get out X.
She's not going to vote on X.
If you talk to her about it.
I don't think so, but let's just for sake. Okay, so Alyssa's gonna vote for Kylan. Who else is gonna vote? Okay, what's Ozza gonna do? She's gonna vote Kylan out. She loves X. Okay, Big D. Who's he voting for? He's voting X.
He'll vote X out.
He's voting X out. So it's 2-1. Okay, Chada. Who's Chada voting for?
Whatever Tiffany wants.
What does Tiffany want?
X gone.
Okay, so now it's 2-2. Okay. So okay, Claire. Who's Claire voting out?
Tiffany. I think you're right. Like it's probably X who goes actually over. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So you X goes. Kylan stays in the game, but I don't know. I don't know because in my mind Kylan's more likely to win HOH than Xavier was sort of my thought process.
HOH, who is he putting up? He's putting up Tiffany and what? And Hannah.
Claire.
Or Tiffany and Claire.
Yeah. Tiffany and Claire.
Claire still has enough votes to. Tiffany still has enough votes to stay.
Yeah, his target would be Claire at that point, I guess, but maybe not, because maybe at that point he'll be like, no, the cookout's done because Xavier's gone, and therefore my target is either Tiffany or Hannah next.
I think that's not a winning proposition for him. He would have to win out.
Guys, this is a moment. It reminds me so much of what happened in Survivor last year when Tony decided to take out Sophie. Okay, if Tiffany does take out X here, which would be a huge move, she has all the not only control, but she is the best manipulator left in the house. She Xavier, taking him out of that house removes a power vacuum.
Creates a power vacuum. For her to fill up, because she's sort of been,
but she'll be like number one, like target.
She'll become number one target too. So she's got to think about, is the timing of this right? Is it this week?
I think the timing is great for television, not for her game.
Really? Okay, so what's she supposed to do, Jaemeel? Is she supposed to wait till the next time she can win HOH to do this?
No, actually.
Because they're after final six.
Who's going to take out Kylan and Xavier? Who's taking them out?
Anyone can.
Anyone else?
No, anyone can. Because the fact of the matter is, like, the hope is that Claire's there for final 7. Because if Claire wins, then she'll put up the guys and Tiffany gets none of the blood in her hand, right? Which is why she wanted to win. That's number one reason why she wanted to win. She wanted the ability to, that if anyone tried to double cross her, she would have.
They're still going to blame her for winning this and keeping Claire safe this week. They can blame her
all they want, but if she's not, if they're not the end of the game, then it's a moot point.
But she'll still have blood on her hands, I guess is my point. Like,
you can have look, blood on your hand is great.
Comes with the territory,
right? That's how you sign your check with blood.
Godfrey, I want my hands drenched in this blood.
Yeah,
that's my guess. God,
we know something that they don't, and that's 2 double evictions. My issue is, so that means you have 4 challenges. So that's 1, 2, 3, at least 3 challenges in a row.
I think
so
Mary's
because we're in Canada, they block the feed, so we would have to use like an alternative program
VPN to do it. Okay, but there was a thing, like I have a picture here, guys. Where'd it go? Here, I'm gonna share my screen, Dave. I'll show you kind of what's going on with here it is.
Hasn't come in from
there it is. Sorry. So right here, look at this. They're like hugging, and then we have this moment here where it's like Tiff tells Kai about the conversation, how it went with Claire. Tiff says, I didn't say anything different than what I told you or would tell you. We cried a whole lot and laughed about some things. She's a phenomenal young lady. I just feel so bad. Tiff starts to cry. Kai hugs her. Tiff says, I honestly trust Claire more than I trust anybody in this house. Kai says, yeah. Tiff says, and I know that she would never do that to me. She knows I don't want to do it to her either, but she is such an amazing person. She understands. She is like, you don't have to explain. I completely understand. She is cool. Kai says, what does she think you're telling me? Tiff says, I said, I'm not telling anyone. She said that she wants to fight for herself. I'm only telling you what I told her, how she interpreted it and how she took it. Maybe Mary's onto something. I don't know. I'm just.
Well, they were all queens together too. Tiffany, Kylan, and Claire once, and they do have sort of a connection there. Yeah. So I don't know. But what I really sense here is that Kylan. Well, I think Kylan has to be scared that Tiffany would go after him, put him up. So I think he's cozying up to Tiffany as much as possible, trying to get in her ear at least, and maybe even something's going on. According, maybe Mary. I don't know. I check it out on the feeds at the time index 3:53 to 4:15 a.m. BB time. There might have been something going on, and between those two. But yeah, like I think that so that it's in Kylan's best interest to sort of like cozy up to her and I don't know what Tiffany's angle would be other than she's not going to target Kylan, so therefore this is working to her advantage. Then,
if I'm Tiffany, I'm like, okay, next HOH have Azza win.
Yeah, well, I think that's maybe
we'll see how quickly people drop for her and help her out. Right. I bet we're gonna have the exact same scenario happening.
Yep.
I don't know if Kylan can even help himself. He just doesn't know how not to be competitive, right? Like
But okay, it's not just Kylan though. It's Tiffany too. Tiffany is a part of this. She can say, well, I had to stay up there because of Kylan and stuff. She was doing that because she didn't trust Kylan, but at the same time, she said it to us tonight. I would much rather be in the HOH room wearing my bathrobes than on the block.
She's like, would I really be on the block or would I really be HOH? HOH. Like,
Exactly. So this whole thing that she's a great manipulator. She's good at this game. But there's right now, if she shoots herself in the foot, I think, and I know, Jaemeel, you say it's bad for a game. I think she is shooting herself in the foot if she doesn't take the shot at X now. If she gets X out now, she has a way better chance of winning this game, I think.
Well, okay. And she reminds me so much of Vanessa from BB17, right? And I often think about, like, Vanessa didn't go after Steve Moses or, at the right time. She always thought, I can beat Moses or I can take him out at some other point. And she couldn't, right? And so I feel like her Tiffany's version of that might be, she's got some blind spots here that she thinks she can maybe be Kylan or take him out at some other point,
All I want is her to say, okay, let Ozza Derek win next. Not Derek though. Ozza win the next HOH.
It seems like no one wants to let Derek
throw everything back in people's face. Just throw it back in everyone's face.
Jaemeel, question for you: who is the most underrated BB Canada player?
Me. No. Most underrated.
Who's the guy that was in the thing he did, like the hand signals, and I forget his name.
Jean-Luc.
No, he was in what was the alliance? It was in season 1 or 2. The foundation, or I forget what the hell they were called.
Oh, you're talking about the
Peter
Brown?
Yeah. Peter Brown. He's the most underrated, I would say.
I don't think Peter Brown would have won physical competition.
Peter Nalick. There was in the what were they called? The Shield.
The Shield.
No, Peter Brown. No, his name is Peter Brown.
No, but the other guy in the Shield.
Oh,
I know. The fact that it took me a while to figure his name out, and I remember him being very entertaining, and
yes,
he was
one of the most entertaining from that season. Yes.
Yeah.
But underrated. I don't know. That's a good.
Well,
question.
Sam's willing to go out here and say it's Beth from the most recent season. I don't know. That's a bold take there, Sam.
What about Godfrey? We mentioned him earlier, but what about him?
I think Godfrey's as good as people think he is, and I think people think
he's rated I'm with you,
just appropriately. All right,
yeah,
exactly where
he's rated appropriately.
Like he was somebody who was willing to kind of throw himself out there and do a big speech and but knew it was kind of also a futile effort too. And it's sort of like the reality of it was it was more for the TV show than it was for the actual game.
I think that Netta is better than her results were.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep.
But just for you, Sam, let's hear some maybe some Beth highlights, like when
there can only be one bad bitch in this house, and it honestly is me. Don't talk to me in riddles. I thought you and I had a thing. I'm getting voted out. I'm getting voted out. Oh my gosh, I'm getting voted out this week.
There's Beth for you.
She was like she was like from Saskatchewan or something, right?
Alberta, yeah.
Alberta,
She was like
West.
northern Alberta, like Edmonton.
She was part of the tripod.
She was part of like the
truffle. So the
truffle, the love triangle.
The thruple.
Next comment here from Sam. Would you rather Beth on BB Can All Stars over Victoria? Okay, I would rather have Victoria on All Stars than Beth.
I'd rather have them both. I mean, just put them both on there.
Okay. I would be fine with Beth on BB Can All Stars if we can get Victoria on regular Big Brother All Stars. Just like an all crazy people season.
They should do an.
I am so good at this game.
They should, for American Big Brother, they should do an international season where they have like 4 people from BB Can, 4 people from BB US, 4 people from the Australia, 4 people from the UK, or something like that.
Big Brother Canada had a closer thing to that. I can't remember. It was in season 4. They had Tim and they had Nikki, right?
They only had 2 people.
Nikki passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah, she passed away. Rest in peace.
But that was a great season because you had Nikki from England and you had Tim from Australia. And then they could have even thrown in like another American. Like they had an Italian and American who like lost the vote because it was like either going to be Tim or this Italian guy from the Italian Big Brother, or it was going to be
Jace. Was it
Jace?
It was
maybe.
They should just put them all in. Like I didn't like that.
It was an Italian woman. I'm sorry, it was an Italian woman versus Nikki, and then an American. It was Jace from BB.
Jace.
From an earlier American season.
No
who
way
lost
people are gonna pick Jace.
All four of those people should have just been put in the house. And
yeah, sure, it would have been more interesting to have the 4 international players in there and see how that would throw
like a Big Brother World Cup. And you just have
a Big Brother World Cup.
Yeah,
an all-star season of all the best players, like maybe English-speaking world.
No, hold on. It's not gonna be all the best players. We don't want all the best players.
No,
we
worst
want
players,
entertaining players.
Yes,
I want the crazy. I'm gonna come up with a plan. Bring Devin. Bring Josiah.
Bring Derek F.
Huh?
Bring Derek F.
Bring all of them. Derek
Zach
F,
Rance.
all of them.
Bring Zach Rance.
Ozza?
Yeah. No, not
Brittany. Does Brittany go?
Brittany, yeah.
Yeah, Brittany.
Yeah.
Like,
it's all about entertainment. You know.
And then we go with UK Big Brother, not rules, but like the mindset that we're gonna make the house guests uncomfortable, right? I want challenges, a combination of America and Canada, and I want the. I would mind the Canadian rules. Wouldn't mind the Canadian rules.
Yeah, the Canadian rules and the Canadian prize is pretty good too, right? So
I have to say the one thing that drives me nuts about BB Canada is what I just alluded to, where they have 2 players. They're like, oh, Canada's gonna vote which player gets into the house. I hate that. Just don't do that to somebody. Just put them in the house, or I hate that.
Like, I was almost in, because it's even worse than like Claire, who, okay, Claire, sorry you didn't quite make it, but you're an alternate, versus like, well, you could be an alternate, or we can parade you up there and do a popularity contest. And when you go in, it's going to be amazing.
The thing is, if you're an alternate, you can an alternate, and you're not shown, you can always go in for another.
Yeah,
season.
you're always eligible for
if you're
future
put in for a vote. That's it. You're not coming back again.
Yeah, like even in the All-Star season of Survivor, when they did that to Rupert, they're like, Rupert, you got to decide: does your wife play or do you play? He's like, oh, my wife will play, whatever he did, which was admirable. But like, they never should have put him in that situation. I thought that, again, not a fan of those type of things.
Yeah. Next question here. We got a couple here from Sam. Okay, who from Big Brother Canada 9 should be on All Stars?
You know my answer. Get the cue up the line.
Yeah,
cue up the line. Come on.
The man.
The man with the mullet, big gullet, bigger heart. Let's go. It's loyal to the soil, loyal to the squad, Sunsetters for life.
To the soil. I love that. That's so great.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone say that before. Loyal to the soil.
Loyal to the soil.
Yeah, he was Sunsetters for life. Don't mess around with Kiefer. I think he's a great choice, I think, for a Big Brother All-Stars. I think he would actually be a much interesting player to see play again, now having the experience of been through it once. I think there's a lot of good players in there. Not Jedson. He would not get to go.
No, not Jedson. No, thank you.
Okay. Next one here. Question. Do you think that the Big Brother Canada 10 casting is a cover-up for a Big Brother Canada All-Star?
They always do. Even in All-Star season, they always do casting, and they'll just carry over the information to the following year. So,
and we know they've done the mixed season. It was a Big Brother Canada 5, which was like it was the All-Stars and the new players,
which
sort
is
of thing.
Always a stupid.
It never works.
Have All-Stars or don't have All-Stars.
Yeah, because the vets always run over the new players in those scenarios.
Because they're like, all the new people we're gonna band together and we're gonna get out the All-Stars, and the All-Stars just laugh.
Like, sure you will.
And they all get starstruck too. Yeah. Like they do.
They get starstruck, and they don't know. They just haven't been through that experience of have been through a vote before, and and that.
And then turn around to me, and they're like, "I was in Big Brother 7. Oh, I never watched that season. Who are you again? Who should I care about?"
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if they did that with the U.S. like the World Cup thing, I think a lot of people are like, who are you? Yeah, it would be kind of good, but they all know the game.
Sam's voting for Beth to go from because she's the baddest bee in the house, according to her, right? Where was she? I know my ABCs.
Stop it! I know my ABCs.
I wouldn't mind Beth, but like I want Victoria so bad, so bad.
Victoria, but
She's
okay,
a mess.
Sam, what about your fellow Newfoundlander,
John? What about John?
Well, there was John. There was also that guy from 2 seasons ago. What's his name? Adam.
Yeah,
right?
You could barely understand him.
Yeah, it was great. It was like
He's-
having
yeah.
I
He was a great
I
character.
loved that. I thought it was a great thing to have like that diversity of the
What
Canadian.
about Jean-Luc?
Yeah, Jean-Luc, not so much. Yeah, I would
Dave loves Jean-Luc.
I do not love Jean-Luc. There are 4 lights, not 5 Jean-Luc.
Okay. All right. I think we got to wrap up.
We're gonna wrap this up. We're thanks for everyone for tuning in, talking spoilers with us. We're gonna be back Wednesday. Happy Labor Day to everybody. Enjoy Monday. We hope you don't have to work. Yeah, Adam on All Stars as well. I was starting to think of the Newfoundlander that was on the most recent season. What was her name? Teresa? No, Tina and TNT.
Tara? No,
Tara.
No.
Tina is what I'm thinking of. I'm sorry. Tina from maybe not. You wouldn't bring her back?
I like Tina, but I don't think she's gonna be for All Stars.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah.
Maybe the Beast Coast Alliance. Beast Coast.
Beast Coast. Okay, everybody. So we're gonna sign off. Join us Wednesday. Also check out our other stuff as mentioned earlier in the show, and happy Labor Day. And maybe some wisdom will take you away from as we head out here tonight. Do we any requests? Maybe some kefir?
No, we already did kefir already, so it's your dealer's choice.
Do you have any anything from this episode where we maybe some Alyssa saying she was over it? Do you have anything like that?
Oh, I believe I have some well, not from specifically tonight, but I have Ozza just saying I'm really sad. Oh no, this was my favorite one with Claire, which is like, I don't need a man because I have Tiff.
I don't need a man in this house because I have Tiff. Are you kidding me?